nationwide and worldwide action for sphere harmonization. Prinz writes in his 2017 book, "If Humanity Only Knew," about the planned reduction of the population in Germany by 2/3 by the year 2025. Vaccinations, cancer, industries, and chemtrails as part of the reduction agenda for useless eaters. Graduated engineer Madjid Abdellaziz, developer of the sphere harmony systems, started as early as the year 2004 with his project of desert greening, to draw attention to the warfare tactic of targeted migration and to create a green wave in the middle of the Sahara to capture these flows. What can we do against chemtrails? We must finally regain sovereignty over our sky and the air we breathe. There is no way around it. There are ways we can at least reduce and contain the poisoning and darkening of our sky. In this case, the strong motto is, the more people participate, the more effective our endeavor. Because in this matter, it's truly the masses that count. Out in sea, with all the following methods, the honest intention from the heart without ego or greed for profit is important. Otherwise, they will not succeed. A technical possibility is the use of so-called cloudbusters, cloud breakers, or better known as sky acupuncture, or sphere harmony. Prinz interestingly wrote about the founder of the Desert Greening Project, graduate engineer Madjid Abdellaziz, in his book with the following project. In the Algerian desert, he created in just a few years what most would not have thought possible. He makes it rain in the desert. But that is not yet everything. In just 7 years, he has transformed a part of the desert into a green oasis, where plants, shrubs, and trees now grow. A real vegetation with its own microclimate, where even vegetables and fruits in organic quality are cultivated. A true miracle. On the project's website, we learn more about his secret. Quote, "With the help of some ancient knowledge, which today is confirmed by the latest findings in quantum orgone and vortex physics, it is possible in desert areas to enliven the ever-same blue sky and to stimulate diverse weather patterns. The methods are similar to the treatment of a patient who has severe tension and is treated with some very carefully placed acupuncture needles. The patient recovers, and mainstream science raises its eyebrows skeptically. Hi, the atmosphere experiences revitalization. The science of desert greening is based, among other things, on the ancient sciences of Feng Shui and geomancy. Sciences to which the concept of holism inherent within. The cloudbuster, as a representative of the metal element, is in this thinking just one pillar of integral environmental healing. Earth, water, fire, trees are the other elements that are worked with. Desert greening applies proven methods of life energy activation for water, soil, and plants. The interaction of these methods leads to a revitalization of nature, even in areas like deserts, where the natural living conditions are largely no longer present. The deployed cloudbusters are also capable of specifically dissolving chemtrails through sky acupuncture. End of quote. Although there are construction guides for simple cloudbusters and counterproductive, even harmful chembusters on the internet, the correctness and efficient or long-term effectiveness of such devices is, however, questioned. Doubt. Crystals are used, without checking whether they are energetically pure and not programmed with negative aspects, thus potentially causing more harm than good. Cooperations can be established with Madjid Abdellaziz from Desert Greening for the construction of professional and functional weather harmonizers. In collaboration with the craft genius Peter Kutschera, he is developing a sphere harmonizer on a small scale, which is especially interesting for homeowners. It requires extensive knowledge to construct these systems correctly. Unfortunately, there are some replicas of small systems often offered at a very low price, but they do not achieve the desired effect. In some cases, they even have a negative effect. Chemtrails, fiction or fact. Through geoengineering, they aim to counteract global warming. To do this, tiny metal particles are dispersed, among other methods, using airplanes, which reflect sunlight and thus contribute to cooling the Earth. The atmospheric physicist from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology Zurich, Professor Lohmann, reports on exhaust measurements at Zurich Airport. Their result indicates that metals such as aluminum are being released into the atmosphere. For over 10 years, this has been dismissed as absurd by scientists, while this measurement clearly shows a burden on humanity and its environment with heavy metals. The complete documentation can be found linked in the description. Dr. Klinghardt also explains about chemtrails and the neurotoxins spread with them, connects various environmental influences, and presents the following interesting considerations. If you want to control and influence the health of humanity, you can spray food with glyphosate, contaminate the air with heavy metals, and add aluminum to vaccines. Through these measures, one can consistently bring about a reduction in intelligence through neurotoxins and slowly decimate humanity. Only certain electromagnetic frequencies are still needed to disable the body's detoxification enzymes. These exact frequencies are sent even more efficiently via the mobile network using 5G. A lecture by Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt uncovers, among other things, in relation to chemtrails, shows how the sprayed substance is produced, what it consists of, what effects it can have on humans and nature, which companies are behind it, and how they desperately try to protect themselves and their plans with questionable methods from criticism. The link is also in the description. Who controls the food, controls the world population. A so-called Codex Alimentarius was established by the World Health Organization and Food and Agricultural Organizations in the year 1963. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is known to be the second largest donor to the World Health Organization after the United States, with 9.76%. This so-called consumer protection organization possesses an immense power, and its official goal is to ensure the trade of safe, unadulterated, and properly labeled food products to guarantee. In 2016, the now proven carcinogen glyphosate from the company Monsanto was deemed safe by the WHO, classified. Corporations like Coca-Cola and Monsanto establish, finance, and control non-profit organizations, such as the International Life Science Institute, which provide their studies to the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization to define the Codex Alimentarius. So easily, a handful of corporations determine what people worldwide are allowed to eat. Bill Gates himself owns 500,000 Monsanto shares worth more than $23 million. And his foundation supports vaccine partnerships with pharmaceutical companies. Vaccines, medicines, genetically modified organisms, reproductive control, weather manipulation, global warming. These and many other initiatives of the Gates Foundation appear to serve the world. In reality, however, it is much more about bringing the world's population under control. Why then are food control and environmental influences so important? Why is there not a semester of nutritional science taught in medical school? Let's dive into the field of epigenetics. Using bees as an example, it becomes strikingly clear how environmental influences can affect and regulate the reading of our DNA. Thousands become subjects, only one becomes queen, and only she is fertile. The difference between queen bees, which are particularly large and can lay eggs, and worker bees, which are infertile, is a prime example of the great impact nutrition has on genes. As different as queens and workers are, their genetic material is identical. The key to this unequal development of bees is the food. Only when a bee larva is fed with royal jelly does a queen emerge. In worker bees, certain gene sections are turned off by so-called epigenetic markers, methyl groups. Due to the poisoned food, the full genome is not fully read, and the full potential is not utilized. In the queen, however, the full DNA remains more readable thanks to the food, and the naturally present complete genome of the bee can thus be read out. Nutrition not only influences the expression of the phenotype, but also cognitive processes in the brain, meaning it even controls intelligence. The science of epigenetics shows that our genetic material is actively changeable. We are not slaves to the genes given to us at birth. Environmental damage in our genetic material is caused by toxic food and environment, so-called epimutations, which can be transmitted up to the 4th generation, for example, infertility. Glyphosate is the most frequently sprayed herbicide worldwide and leads as an environmental toxin to damage across entire generations, particularly causing diseases of the testes, ovaries, and mammary gland, as well as obesity. You can also find links related to this in the description. The secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. On the websites linked below of Desert Greening, Integral Environmental Healing, and the Blue Planet, the positive effects of Madjid Abdellaziz's sphere harmony installations are impressively demonstrated. They combine the valuable insights of Nikola Tesla, Wilhelm Reich, Victor Schauberger, sacred geometry, Nassim Haramein, and create a solution tested against our current geopolitical and health threats. This is how the sphere harmony works. Chemtrails are dissolved. This leads to the stimulation of a gentle energy flow to natural cloud formation, with consecutive rainfall through the cloudbuster or so-called sky acupuncture. This leads to the harmonization of the atmosphere. There is a harmonization and healing of air, soil, water, and the atmosphere. The frequency becomes more natural again, like in the 1960s. Old blockages in people can be dissolved, and plant growth is promoted. Yes, at the Spherical Harmony installation in Tyrol, at the large Mini-SHA cheese factory, the so-called primordial effect can be impressively seen through the local plant growth. The link is in the description. Self-determination and anti-HAARP. HAARP can no longer manipulate or negatively influence us. We humans become more alert, aware, and above all, more courageous. Our chakras are reactivated and harmonized. Manipulative mind control programs are effectively blocked. The large sphere harmony device has an effective diameter of up to 500 kilometers. When it encounters the vibrations of another device, they then work together and amplify each other. 3 small sphere harmony devices, arranged in a triangle with a maximum distance of 60 kilometers, achieve the same effect as one large device. Dear people in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and worldwide, brave and kind-hearted people, companies, and foundations are called upon to help establish such a network of harmonizers in our countries. There is no time to lose. Whether 5G, chemtrails, or huge antenna systems like HAARP, humans, animals, and the environment are nowadays exposed to numerous negative influences and manipulations. Subjected. While chemtrails poison the skies and HAARP dries up entire rivers and lakes, the sphere harmony systems offer an effective counterbalance. Due to the volatile global political situation, it is especially important right now to use the technology of sky acupuncture and sphere harmony for the benefit of humanity and nature globally, and to expand the worldwide network. To expand. In Algeria, an entire people could be freed from fear with the help of these valuable systems, and a peaceful, unprecedented revolution was initiated. Why is that so? In Algeria, there is a sphere harmony facility that effectively protects against cognitive manipulation using electromagnetic waves. Arte describes this process very vividly in its contribution. You will also find a link in the description. Help out. Together we want to clean the air from pollutants like chemtrails and protect against dangerous radiation like HAARP and 5G and manipulation of the human mind. Bring nature and living beings into harmony and do our part for a harmonious and peaceful world. Stay alert, healthy, and consciously. What will you choose? Technocracy or natural laws? Slavery or freedom? Violence or peaceful coexistence? The power to decide lies in your heart, the action in your hands.